Hey all, this is Stephanie Bellini with Energy Aligns. This is my Thursday Tarot Insight. And I'm just checking in to see how everybody's doing. It has been intense 24 hours. It's been an intense period, at least for a lot of us here in the United States. And I hesitated doing this Tarot Insight a little bit because it's a lot. And I thought about it a lot. And I decided to go for it because I felt like there was some information that needed to be shared. And of course, I wanted to hear what the collective information that needs to be shared is. And so I pulled a card out of curiosity for myself. And then I decided while doing that, yeah, why not? Let's share it. So here we are, Tarot Insight for the week. Starting here November 7th, and this energy is moving and really be our focal point the 14th, 15th. When I looked at it in November, it's a lot of the same and a lot of different, but for the collective energy, there's been a lot of similar themes. So let's just get into it. I'm going to show you the card I pulled. It's Brother Fire here, okay? Brother Fire. Look at this card. A lot of movement. And we know there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of energy moving, and that's the way it is right now. And it is the way it is for a reason, right? And it's not that we have to have a reason for every single little thing, but these are the times we're in. These are the times we're in. Brother Fire. What came first for this card is learning how to rise up and hold on to our spiritual fire. So you can see all the fiery colors in this card, the fiery movements, and also the lion's head, the lion being the fire sign. Okay, and so here we are learning how to hold on and navigate our spiritual fire as a collective, okay? As a collective. So as a collective, the information here is there is a tremendous longing here in the collective, a very, very, very strong longing that's been here for a while, and we're seeing it right now in this card, that has been ignored. We have been ignoring the longing of our spirit, the longing to connect with our spiritual fire, the longing how to fill the space that feels like a void within us as individuals and within us as a collective. And here we go. Now we're being shown what it is in this card very clearly. And it's not new. It's been here for a long time. So the spiritual longing here, it's putting us in kind of a whirlwind and a little bit confusion. Look at all the movement here. When we have continued to, and if we continue to only look without us, to look outside of ourselves, it gets very confusing because we don't get and we don't have all the information. So when our focus is always on solutions and what's going on out there and how do we and let's do it, even when it's with good intentions, everything that we're trying to solve out there, everything we're trying to address out there outside of ourselves is absolutely with good intentions. Yet, if we don't have all the information, it's very difficult and it's very confusing because we're trying to take care of something. Take care means like to take care of it, to care for it, to heal it, to solve it. And yet we don't have all the information. We're only looking in one area here. Okay, so it's really important to remember that in the collective, in this big mass of who we are, what it is made up of is each one of us as an individual. So the collective is the group energy, but what makes the collective energy is each one of us. So if we each show up not doing the work of going within and using the tools and finding the information that is actually inside of us, right? We have all this information inside of us, energetically and spiritually, and that's what this card is. We have the information in here. When we're not accessing it, when we're not getting it, when we're not trying to understand it, when we're not trying to tune into it, and we're just looking out, we're not using all of our resources. And each one of us contributes to the collective. So if each one of us were doing that work, if each one of us is going within, accessing our information, and then from there, we're moving with the information that we're seeing outside of ourselves, we have more information to evolve, to solve our problems, to flow with more ease. And so because we're not doing that, it is very confusing. Look at this card. Look at all the movement. The brother on this horse lion can't even see where it's going. And the lion being the spiritual aspect of what we're doing, who we are as an individual and collective, is trying to lead the way. But it can only do so much on its own. We as individuals are being asked to participate in this process here, to participate in a new way with our spirit, with the energy of our spiritual fire, in order to move out into the world with more awareness, with more integrity, with all the things we're wanting. It's this longing that wants to be fulfilled. This is the longing. This is it. It seems like we've been searching and searching and searching and going without and going without. And the actual answer is not to say that it's easy, but it's simple. The answer is very simple. The answer is going within, so we can move out in a way that is different and more aligned and more in tune. Okay. It's important to remember that the collective is made up of each of us as individuals. Okay? So when we're not going within, we're not walking the talk, right? Then it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up what is happening energetically outside of ourselves. And therefore the results that present themselves don't make sense to us. So then we look without and we go, I don't understand. Why are we still here? Why haven't we evolved? Why haven't we moved past? Why are we maybe even going backwards? What is happening here? It doesn't make sense, right? Because we're not accessing all of the information. So the spiritual energy is here. It's here for us to access. It's right here. It's still energy swirling around, but we need, as individuals, in order to support the collective, the whole, we need to interact and say hello to this energy. It's here. The energy is here. It's swirling around us. It's swirling around inside of us. So when we don't even acknowledge it, we can't see it. And it's not that we go, oh yeah, it's here, I'm going to acknowledge it, and everything's going to clean up and clear up. No, it's energy is something that we can relate to. It's like a friend. It's like a relative. It's something that we have to spend the time to get to know, to interact with. It's like it changes and grows as we change and grow when we interact with it. It's like the most beautiful opportunity to deepen into this lifetime. You know, we're here. We're not here just to be automatons, like working out these problems for everybody all the time. We're here to have we're here to have a deeper understanding of ourselves, a deeper understanding of our relationship with ourselves and others. And this is a really beautiful thing. And it's a really beautiful time for that. And if you haven't had that experience, if you haven't had the understanding of what that feels like, what that seems like, this is the time to start exploring that. This is the time to start deepening your own spirituality, which means getting quiet and going within, really taking that seriously. And by seriously, I mean committing to it, committing to something else. And I, I will say here, when and if you choose to do that, if you choose to have a meditation practice, if you choose to start having a relationship with your spirituality, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. And I can say that from, real personal experience. It's not easy to do, and things do come up and make life hard and emotional and challenging, but in a way where you expand and grow, and it becomes so fulfilling and so much more meaningful. So here we go. How can we relate to this energy that's being asked to be related to our spiritual fire? How can we do this? How can we access this? I've said this before. Meditation, I just went on my little rant about it, but I say it in all of my videos that taking at least 5 minutes a day to get quiet is really a very good door opener for that relationship to be developed. You're saying hello to the energy. You're saying hello to your spirit. You're saying hello to yourself. You're saying hello to the things you cannot see with your eyes or know with your brain. How else can we relate to it? Just the acknowledgement that you are a sovereign being and you get to choose. Okay? So acknowledging like, hey, I have choices. Whatever that means for you. I can choose to spend 5 minutes a day in meditation. I can choose to spend an hour a day if I have the time. These are choices that you get to make. It's just like, oh, I can choose to drink more water for my body, right? Like that choice is on you. You're a sovereign being. You can take care of your body here. So you can take care of your spiritual relationship here with yourself, with what is greater than you. And the other way to start accessing the spiritual fire is to acknowledge that you're also a part of the collective, right? Each one of us is an individual in the collective, and that itself has this bigger energy based on what we're bringing here. So we're not just a part of the collective in a passive way, right? And who we are and how we participate in the collective energetically, emotionally, spiritually, physically matters. And it's not passive, no matter what we do. And to acknowledge that for yourself, and then to ask yourself, how does that feel? How does it feel that I am actually affecting the greater picture here? And this is not just what I'm doing, I'm getting out, I'm making this change in my community, I'm volunteering, I do this as my job. That's not the only element I'm talking about here. Acknowledging that you as an individual, as an energetic being, are participating here. And so how does that feel when you acknowledge and you know that you are affecting the greater collective? And then to ask yourself, what does that mean to you? To really think about, how am I participating here? And participation doesn't mean getting up and showing up for work or volunteer or how you're helping somebody or not helping something. It can mean a myriad of things. It could mean, are you sitting in meditation? Are you deepening your spirituality? What are the words coming out of your mouth? What are the thoughts that roll around in your head all day? How are you participating in this lifetime here? Okay, and then not to be redundant, but here's the last thing, and it's a repeat, but to take the time to relate with the energy that's swirling all over the place around you, and it's swirling all over the place within you, and this is your spiritual fire. It wants to be related to. It wants you now. It's asking you. It's asking the collective. It's really demanding the collective. Hey, let's have a relationship. Let's talk. So what does that mean, and how does that look? Like, are you getting quiet and seeing what comes up? Are you asking questions of yourself? And just acknowledging it is bringing awareness to it. That's like saying, okay, I acknowledge that you're here. I don't really understand what Stephanie was saying at Energy Alliance in this Tarot Insight. Like, I don't really understand what she was really talking about, because it's hard to talk about, because it's personal. So, but just acknowledging, like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna say hello to that energy. I'm gonna acknowledge that spiritual fire is out there for me to access, and seeing what happens, because something will happen when you start to do that. The awareness is the hugest step that you can make. And once you make the awareness, it's kind of like it just lays itself out in front of you, and you just are guided, and you can guide yourself, and you guide how you want to relate with this energy. So we have to relate with this energy if we want to have it in our lives, if we want to develop it, if we want to just acknowledge it, if we want to go forward with more integrity and clarity and ease. This is what's being asked here. I'm going to show this card again, because you can see the movement here. The spiritual fire is swirling around us. So I encourage each and every one of you to spend 5 minutes a day. If you already have a practice, I would, of 5 minutes a day or a longer meditation practice, I would ask you to start to say hello and acknowledge this energy of spiritual fire that's moving around. And if you already have a connection with this energy, start to acknowledge that you are a sovereign being and relating with it, so that you can step outside into the collective in more awareness. That's what's being asked. This energy is here for our awareness, because it has information. It has information, and it's not information that you're going to get in a book that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bulleted out. This information is what allows us to evolve and grow and expand. And that is what we're doing here. That is what we're all here for. On the spiritual journey, underneath all the guise of all the layers, of all the material things, of all the jobs we do, of all the families we interact with, of all the things that we're here keeping ourselves busy doing, which is life, and it's fun, and it's hard, and it's all sorts of things. But underneath it all is what? What is it? That's a good question to ask yourself. What is underneath it all for you? That's the essence of this card. What's underneath it all is an amazing, amazing gift. And it's a realm we haven't explored for ourselves as individuals, all of us. A lot of people have, and a lot of people have been exploring their spiritual fire, but it's asking that we all kind of wake up and start doing it now. So that make it something that we talk about, and something that we are, something that we walk in, something that we make choices in, something that we live from. That's what's being asked. It's so intense right now on so many levels. And at the same time, I encourage you to take a look at this as an opportunity to live in a deeper, more fulfilling way. You know, when we start to develop our spirituality and tap into our spiritual fire, it really does make our lives more gratifying in ways that you can't teach somebody, and in ways that you need to experience by doing that work. Okay, I'm going to end here. I wish all of you so much love and deep awareness. Hang tight. If you're struggling and you need a little help, you can always reach out to me, or you can just sit in meditation for 5 minutes and see how that feels. When we're in stress and we're struggling, it's sometimes nice to do something a little bit different. And asking yourself to do something for 5 minutes a day that's a little bit different, just sitting quietly with your eyes closed, isn't too much of an ask, but it's a real big shift. So give it a try if you haven't. You can always go on my website for some free short guided meditations that would also help in these times when you're wanting to tap into this spiritual fire energy. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.